So today, not many young people know what it means to be a father. I'm talking about young men. Many young men are roaming the world and they don't know what it means to be a father. They don't know what it means to be a husband. This is because such principles are not taught. There is nowhere in this life where you'll be taught how to be a father or where you'll be taught how to be a husband. These things are not taught. Now, these things, we learn it from the home that we grew up from, or the family that we were raised from, or the environment where we were raised. These are the things that form us and make us. So most people begin to live their life as a father or as a husband based on what they have seen or how they were raised or the examples that they had at home. What if you did not get any good example? What if you never experienced that kind of fatherly love that you are expected to show your children? How do you produce what you don't have? That's the reason why I'm talking to you this morning. That look, there is a way to be a father, and there is a way to be a husband, and there is a way to be a successful father and a successful husband. But because we are not taught and we don't really know, people tend to live by the day, or they live as though by experiences or by other people's experiences or by what they have learned in their classroom, maybe among friends, in the environment that they find themselves. But you see, it goes far beyond that. Becoming a father is totally different than becoming a husband. And becoming a husband is totally different from becoming a father. There are people who are fathers, but they are not husbands. And there are people who are husbands, but they have not proven to be fathers. So the question is, how can a young man who have just started life and is setting in his heart to start a family know how to be a father or know how to be a husband to a wife? Now, as a young man, you must understand that there is a decision that you must take as a young person when you are growing. There's a decision that you must take. If you check through the scriptures, one thing that you see, the Bible says that when the Lord was separating the men of Israel to go to battle, he started with people who are 20 years old and above. Now, why 20 years old? 20 years old because at 20 years, that is when you begin life, or that is when you begin to make decisions that can actually affect or influence your future. So far as you are under the roof of your parents, you may think that you deserve certain kind of things in life. But the issue is that at 20 years, or as you are growing above 20 years, there is a decision that you need to make that will separate you from your childhood life and introduce you into your adulthood. Now, this decision will not be made for you by your father. It cannot be made for you by your mother. Neither can it be made for you by even the school that you attend or the environment that you grew up from. It's a personal decision that you make. And today, I want to give you at least 3 decisions that you need to make that will make you a man in your 20s, or 3 decisions that you need to make that will structure you and build you up to become either a father or a husband. Now, the first thing that you have to understand as a man is that you must connect your life to God. Many people seems to sometimes underrate that decision based on where they are coming from or the educational background or where they were brought up or the kind of friends that surround them. They downplay this thing, but I tell you, it's very, very, very important. So what does it mean to be dependent on God? To be dependent on God actually means that have a solid relationship with God. You have to make that decision yourself as a young man. You don't need to depend on anybody. You see, you must accept that in this life, there is a higher authority. There is a higher force which is above everything. You must accept that. You must accept that it's not everything that your wisdom can do. It's not everything that your understanding can do. And it's not everything that your knowledge can do. There are things which are higher than the realms that have been introduced to man. And therefore, you must humble yourself and accept the fact that there is God and there is somebody who is greater in this life and who can guide and can lead and can help you to achieve everything that you want to achieve. Yes, God gave us the brain I always say that the brain is one of the most greatest gifts that God gave to mankind, because everything that you see in this life, from the aircraft to skyscrapers to look at all the infrastructure in this life, it's as a result of people using their brain. Becoming a Christian does not mean that you will not use your brain. No, you use it. But then you must have a solid relationship with the maker, the one that gave you that brain to use, so that in times of need you can call upon him, or in times of need you can visit with the Lord in solitude and ask God for directions about your life. Every man that became successful in this life is somebody who had a solid relationship with God. Think about Abraham, think about David, think about Moses, think about all the great men that we read in the scriptures. Yes, it is true that time is come and gone, but it's an example unto you that if you also decide to build a solid relationship with God, out of nothing, God can raise you up and set you apart and make you different in your father's house and make you different in your mother's house. And therefore, my brother, relationship with God is very key for your life. Without a relationship with God, you are going nowhere in life. You know, many people live in this life and they wait in their 20s, they live their life anyhow, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, before they realize that they have made mistake, before they realize that they could have achieved much, they could have done much, but for a certain kind of strength that they didn't have, they could not achieve much in this life. So it's not about only what your knowledge or only what your wisdom or only what your understanding can do, but accept the fact that there is a higher force which is greater, that can actually help you to make your decisions and make them well, and plan your life and plan them well, and execute everything on your heart so that you can bring it to pass as long as you live. So as a young person, never be deceived by what you are hearing on social media. Never be deceived by what some friends are saying, people fighting God here and there. I want you to lock up yourself in your room and have a discourse in your heart and think about it deep within yourself and acknowledge that there is a power which is stronger, and that by reckoning with that force can help you to achieve something great. So as a young man in your 20s, 30s, 40s, I don't care the age limit that you have, because age is just a number. Age is important, but age does not actually tell us the time that God have arranged for us in eternity. But rather, it is for us to understand that we are being renewed in strength, and we are being given new sheets, and we are being given new opportunities as the years come by, so that we can take these opportunities and make something better out of it. So please, no matter your age, I want you to understand that you can always come to a place where you will accept that there is a higher force that can help you, in addition to your knowledge, in addition to your wisdom, in addition to your understanding. Personally acknowledge and begin to humble yourself for guidance that God will help. Because the scriptures say that the blessings of the Lord, it maketh rich and it addeth no sorrow with it. It means that for riches you can get it. You can become rich in this life, riches in wealth, riches in relationship, riches in knowledge. You can have all that. But the Bible says that when you have that with God as a foundation, there is no sorrow added with it. So as a young man, one of the first decisions that you want to make in this life is that you want to have a good relationship with God. The second thing that I want you to understand is something very important, but this generation, young people don't take it serious. The thing that I want you to understand today is about character building. You see, as a young man, you must decide to build a character, and you must decide to build a solid character. You see, a character that can make you a father, a character that can make you a husband. You see, just as people go to school to learn about engineering, people go to school to learn science, people go to school to learn all sorts of things. Character is something that you can learn, and character is something that you must intentionally make a decision that you want to build your character. There are certain areas that you need to build in this life if you want to be successful. One area that you need to build in character is to have a good attitude. Attitude tops everything. Your attitude about life, your attitude about education, your attitude about money, your attitude about relationships. All these things are very important, and these things does not come by chance. For these things, you must make an intentional decision, a deliberate decision to build yourself in the area of attitude. The next thing is tolerance. You must understand that this life, everybody have tolerance, and your tolerance level is very, very important. If you look at the life of Christ, Christ had a certain level of tolerance, but when he went to his father's house and he saw that people were making things that people were making in the father's house was not good, Bible said that he became angry. Why? Because his tolerance level for sin at a certain point, Christ saw that he cannot tolerate certain things in life. Young man, it's not everything that you can tolerate. Understand that. It's not everything that you can tolerate. It's not every friend that you can tolerate. It's not even every trade that you can tolerate, because maybe you are not built for that. It's not everything in this life that you can tolerate. You must understand your tolerance level. You have what you call emotional intelligence. You see, you intentionally decide to build such characters. Build it. Make sure that you are building yourself to become a solid man in this life. And it must be intentional. You must be intentional about it. Every decision that you are making, be intentional about it. Every opportunity that you are taking, be intentional about it. Everywhere that you are going in this life, directions that you want to take, be intentional about it. Build solid character. A character that can make another look after you as a father. A character that will let another want to imitate you. Another want to look upon you. Another want to see you as an example. You see. Yes, so once you build tolerance, the next thing is that you must be honest with yourself. You see, honesty is very, very important. You can't do away without honesty. For people to trust you, for people to entrust something to you, it comes with honesty. Until you become honest with yourself and understand that it's not everything that I can do. I'm honest with myself. It's not every friend that I can have. I'll be honest with myself. It's not every opportunity that I will take. I'll be honest with myself. You must learn honesty. You must understand your limit. You must accept that, and you must make a conscious decision to live by that. You don't owe anybody anything. All you owe people is that you must be honest about this life, so that the decision that you make in this life will not affect others or throw others into shambles or make others regret for giving opportunity to coming into their lives. When David had the opportunity to serve Saul, he was honest with himself. When Jesus Christ had the opportunity to serve mankind, he was honest with himself. Everything that he said, what I see my father, that's what I do. He was honest with himself. He made us understand that he not come by his own power, but he came by a greater force. Beloved, you must be honest with yourself. As a young man, as a young woman, you must be honest with yourself. If you really want to live this life as a young man and become a true father example or a true husband example, you can't do away with honesty. Honesty is something that you must make sure that you build yourself for. The next thing that you must be practical about everything. Practicality is important for you when you are growing, when you are making decisions. Be practical about everything. It's not everything that you want to live abstract. You see, you are looking at things imaginatively. No. Be practical about every decision that you are making. Every decision that you make in this life, whether you want to go to school, whether you want to learn a trade, whether you want to improve yourself, whether you want to enter into a relationship, be practical about it. That this thing that I'm doing, I'm practical. This is the steps that I'm taking to get there. You know, sometimes when you think about the process, it will scare you. You see, it's good to have good imaginations. You see, as a man, you live by imagination. Be imaginative, be creative, but don't let the process scare you. Be practical about it. Step by step, meticulously, you can be able to make decisions and see them accomplished. Don't think abstractly. Don't think somebody will come helping you. Don't think you have support from somewhere. You see, when you begin to think that this person is supposed to support me, that man is supposed to support me, and that support is not come, you begin to play what we call blame games. You begin to blame people that, oh, because my friend did not help me, because my teacher did not help me, because my father was not there, because my mother. But if you begin to be practical about your life and make decisions and develop steps towards bringing that decision to fruition, beloved, there is no way that you become a failure as a good father or a good husband. So my brother, I want you to understand that you need to build such characters for yourself, and that character, you must be intentional about it. It does not come on a silver platter. It does not come abstractly. It does not come by chance. It comes by making a conscious effort to building a solid character that will make you a good father figure or a good husband figure. The last thing I want to share with you today is that you must develop your work. You know, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 24, the verse 27, that build your work and make it fit in the field. After that, build your house. Wow, what a wonderful revelation. The Bible says that build your work and make it fit in the field. After that, build your house. You know, you can't start building a house. You can't start raising a family. You can't go into a relationship without first building your work. The greatest blessing to you in this life is this revelation that is coming to you today. Young man, spend time to build yourself. Spend time to develop yourself. Build your work, the work of your hands. Bible says after you have built the work of your hands, then you can go ahead and build your house. But how do you build the work of your hands? There are two important keys that I want to give you. The first thing is that you must be somebody who is under instruction. You must be somebody who is under instruction. You see, instruction is something like apprenticeship. You see, you must take apprenticeship. An apprentice is somebody who is receiving instructions from a master to guide him or to make that person develop mastery in a certain field. You know, you must humble yourself and be under the guide of tutors, be under the tutelage of elders, so that they can help you shape the kind of work that you want to do. If you want to build your work, you must be a man under instruction. You must be a person under instruction. You must take instructions very seriously, because it is instructions in the kind of work that you are doing that will help you develop yourself well, that will help you gain mastery in the field of work, gain mastery in the field of education, gain mastery in everything that you want to do. You want to bring yourself under instruction. A young man without instruction, you are going nowhere in life. You need instruction. You know, Joshua was under instruction. That's why Bible said that when Moses passed away, God called Joshua. Why? Because Joshua was a man. Bible said that he was a man who had the patience of heart to undergo labor, serving Moses all the days of his life, all the days of his youth, or all the days of his life. As long as Moses was alive, Joshua humbled himself and he served him. He was a man under instruction. Joseph was a man under instruction. He was first instructed in his father's house, and when he came to Potiphar's house, he was under instruction. Even with Pharaoh, he was under instruction. He was under instruction to the extent that he listened to the voice of his father, that he will not sin against the God of his father. When he had opportunity to sleep with Potiphar's wife, he said, how can I do such a thing against my God? Which God was he talking about? He was talking about the God of his father, the God of Jacob. So Joseph was somebody who was under instruction. If Joseph was not under instruction, there was no way that man could have ascended the throne. Maybe God have ordained Joseph that to become prime minister in Egypt, but if he has never been a person under instruction, there is no way would have attained that feat in life. Think about David. David was a man under instruction. Remember in the scripture, the Bible said that when there was war between Israel and the Philistines, the father of David called him and sent him with food and other things to be sent to his brothers in the battlefield. But there is something important that people miss, and we miss in the scripture. The Bible said that David left his father's sheep, the flock, in the hands of a caretaker, or in the hands of a keeper, before he left the field. He didn't just leave the sheep just like that in the field and then go because his father is calling him. No, he left them in the hand of a keeper. This is somebody under instruction. David had been ordained to become a king, but he must subject himself as a young man to be under instruction. In the house of Saul, when he went to serve King Saul, he was under instruction. Beloved, if you don't come under instruction, if you don't come under apprenticeship, there is no way you can develop yourself and become the kind of person that you want to become in this life. Whether it's in education, whether it's in trade, everything that your hand has found to do, make sure that you find yourself under a master and serve that master and learn the ways of that master and build upon the foundation that you learn from that master, so that you can become the kind of person that you have to be in this life. Beloved, instruction is important to you. The last thing I want to talk about is direction. You know, people who have instruction have direction. You see, When you are instructed, you have direction. You know where you are going. But when you don't have instruction, you have no direction. There are a lot of people who live their life without direction. They have a certain imaginative future, abstract future, but they have no direction. They have no way that they are keeping, that is taking them there. They have, because they have no direction, they have no discipline. You see, but when you have direction, you have discipline. When you know where you are going, you have discipline. If you know you are going to point A, you make steps, you calculate your steps, you develop steps that will take you to point A. If you know you are going to point B, you develop your steps and make decisions that will take you to point B. But when you don't have direction in life, where are you going? If you are listening to me, wherever you are listening to me from, whether in Europe you have no direction, there is no way you can succeed. Whether in America you have no direction, there is no way you can succeed. Even in Africa, there is no way you can succeed. It doesn't matter where you are in this life, you must have direction in life. If you look at people who have become very successful in life, they have direction. They put something in their mind, they have something in their spirit. There is something that they wanted to achieve. The first thing that is that, one, there are people under instruction. Two, there are people who have direction in life. You need instruction and direction to build the work of your hands in the field and make it fit. Without direction, without instruction, there is no way you can build your work in the field and make it fit. If you are making a decision that you want to build a solid family, you want to become a father, you want to become a husband, these are the three things that I leave with you today. Relationship with God, building character, and then making sure that you build your work and make it fit, so that after that you can build your house. If you have these three keys, beloved, you are secured. As a young man, you are blessed. I want to encourage you that, beloved, everything that you are thinking about is possible. Every vision that you are thinking about is possible. Every imagination that you are thinking about is possible, but the possibility lies on the foundation of godly relationship. The possibility lies on the foundation of building a solid character. This possibility lies on the foundation of making that you build the work of your hands. That will give you a platform for you to build the kind of family that you want to build. I want to encourage you that as you keep on serving God, as you keep on making decisions, practical decisions, building solid character, God will help you